So for those of you that don't follow me on Instagram, I bought a truck. I got rid of the 2018 Corolla IM that was spring green. I really liked that car. I didn't have any issues with it. I drove it for about 88,000 miles, something like that. Bought it brand new. Had zero mechanical issues or anything. I just paid off that car like 2 years ago. And I decided that I finally wanted to get what I actually wanted, which was this. And this is a 2023 Toyota Tacoma. This is the last year for the Generation 3, I believe it is. The new one is a turbo 4-cylinder, and just in general, you don't really usually buy the first year of a new model. And they're having some transmission issues right now. So, you know, don't buy the first model year for vehicles pretty much. But this is a Tacoma SR, and it is a 2023. I bought it with 16,000 miles on it. It's a pre-owned certified Toyota vehicle, meaning I have a 7-year, 100,000 mile warranty on the drivetrain, and I think a year on like everything else pretty much. This being an SR, it is a access cab, which is what I wanted. We're not planning on having children, so I don't really need back seats. This does come with some like jump seats that fold out and everything, so if you really wanted to have somebody back there for a little bit, you could, but it wouldn't be very comfortable. This truck's pretty much spec'd exactly the way that I would have wanted one, except for the color. I would have wanted white because white hides scratches and dirt better. Black, I've already pinstriped this truck on some bushes while we were up in the mountains last week. So yeah, I mean, black it looks good when it's clean. Probably looks pretty good on camera because it's fairly clean right now. But it gets dirty really easily and then looks horrible, and it shows scratches really well. So this truck is fairly simple. It has a couple of options. The main one that I care about is it's 4-wheel drive, and it has the manual sliding rear window here, which I also wanted. This truck does have the 2.7 4-cylinder, which I imagine will be a controversial thing because I think most people like the V6. But I don't own any trailers, so I'm not really going to be towing anything, and the most I would really haul would be some like furniture or something. So it's not really that big of a deal for me to have the V6, and I think the 2.7 is actually seen as a more reliable motor, all things being said. So I have made a couple of modifications, one of which I'm sure some of you have noticed. It does have this soft trifold tonneau cover here that has the Lear name on it. I don't know if it's made by Lear or if it's made by some company and then Lear just puts their name on it. I'm not really sure. I'm right next to the road. This probably wasn't a great idea. All the trucks going through Mount Holly Springs. But this is just a cheap trifold soft tonneau cover that I bought because Abigail and I like to go on some trips, and when we do, she brings a lot of bags and stuff, and we buy things. So I figured having something like this, it would keep our stuff at least somewhat dry. That being said, it does leak a little bit. I'm not going to be able to show that, but it leaks a little bit. It's certainly better than an open bed, though. But yeah, I mean, overall, really simple little truck. You know, just about as simple as you can get. The tonneau cover is the most noticeable modification. These also come with I think they call it an air dam that hangs down. I took that off because it looked horrible. And, you know, ruined departure or approach angles and everything. And then the other modification that I made, because I'm used to having one, is right here. I bought a cheap little plastic thing to hold the gas cap because it didn't come with one. So I bought that off Amazon. But anyway, getting in the truck here. Pretty, you know, passenger cabinet. This door does open, so you can kind of see the jump seat here. Put that headrest up, and you know, you could fit somebody there. It wouldn't be very comfortable, but you could fit somebody there. I do like that these fold down. The rear window's manual, which I actually like. And then door just closes, and let's get in here. So once we're in here, it's really simple, you know, because it's, you know, pretty much a base model truck. It does have 4-wheel drive. This does have the low range transfer case, meaning it has 4-wheel drive high and 4-wheel drive low, which was important to me. That's why I didn't buy an all-wheel drive vehicle. But yeah, I mean, it's just fairly simple in here. I got some rubber mats and stuff. It's a little dirty in here. But yeah, I mean, fairly simple pickup truck. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like what my dad's Ford Ranger would have been if it was made today. My only real plans for it right now is I'm going to replace these tires. I'm hoping to do it before winter. These are just some Firestone Destination. It says LE2. These are HT tires, or highway terrain, I believe is what they're referring to it as, which basically just means they're meant to have like low rolling resistance and last forever. I mean, they're not the worst tires in the world, but they are not all-terrain tires, which is what I want. And I know some people are going to have suggestions for BF Goodrich KO2s. They're really expensive. I know they're great tires, and some other stuff. I'm looking right now at Falcon Rubitrek tires, I think is what they are, and Sumitomo Encounter AT, something like that. More affordable all-terrain tires that look like they'd be good, and the ones made by Falcon, so I'm sure they're good. So that's the only real planned modification right now. At some point I may replace the quote-unquote splash guard down here with a aluminum TRD skid plate, and at some point I could see doing something with like the front and rear bumper, but I'm keeping it fairly simple, just because, you know, I want it to be a pretty simple truck. I probably won't do anything with the suspension because I don't think it's necessary for this kind of stuff that I do. But yeah, this is my truck. I figured I'd make a video on it. This is all filmed on a GoPro, so hopefully it looks all right. But yeah, I mean, so far I like the truck. There's a couple little things that are a little annoying, like the auto driver's side window is auto down, but then not auto up, which I would prefer it to be the other way. And the other thing that can be slightly annoying when you're not used to it, although I'm getting used to it now, is the 6-speed automatic transmission in these likes to gear hunt. And it likes to constantly be in the highest gear that it can possibly be in. So when you're going up and down hills, it wants to try to stay in a high gear, and you know, your acceleration up the hill is less than satisfactory. But that being said, if you just give it a little more gas, it will kick down and give you what you want. So you just have to kind of get used to driving it. But overall, I'm really happy with the truck. I really like the way these third gens look. Like, I think it's a really good looking truck. I don't really like the new ones. They're a little too aggressive for me. Like, I like the way this one looks. It looks like a good, honest truck. The other one looks too aggressive, in my opinion. Plus, I don't really trust the, like I said, first model year for cars is always a little, not sketchy. Sketchy's not the right word. Always a little questionable, because, you know, they're working out all the kinks and everything. And they went to a brand new motor, the turbo. I think it's a 2.4, 4-cylinder turbo. So I wanted to get something that I thought was tried and true. And of course, the new ones are really expensive because I don't think you can get them in an access cab right now. But yeah, this is my truck. Fairly basic, but 4-wheel drive. And I have some plans for it because I like to drive on like logging roads and stuff. I'm going up on one right now. But yeah, that's about it for right now. So I'm gonna have to chop that up a little bit, but yeah, all-terrain tires. I think that was probably the most real off-roading that I've ever done. That's the first bit in this truck anyway that I wouldn't have been able to do in my Corolla. I don't know what it looked like on camera. It probably didn't look like anything, but it was pretty rocky and steep, and there was a point where there was like a deep puddle and some like silty, sandy looking dirt, and I was actually a little worried I might get stuck. All-terrain tires, that's coming next. All-terrain tires. That was fun. This is Ridge Road. That was the section coming up from Mount Holly Springs, and now it looks like it's turning more into like just a logging road like what I'm used to. So hopefully it'll just be nice and smooth the rest of the way. I'm still in four-wheel drive because I'm one of those people that believe I'm on gravel and I don't need four-wheel drive, but I have four-wheel drive, so I'll put it in four-wheel drive. That's how I feel about it anyway. This 2.7 liter four-cylinder, very loud motor. Probably noticed. Makes all sorts of noises and stuff. But from what I understand, it is a very reliable motor. But yeah, so I'm gonna grab the GoPro and turn this off, and I'll probably have to cut that up a little bit and see what we got.